y'all, it's Martia Ramsey. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Yes, thank you. I am back and I got y'all. I'm back better than ever, and I am dedicated to making videos every Tuesday starting today. So catch me, okay? Get you a dose of healing, all right? So I want to speak about the importance of loving on you a little bit more while being comfortable with closing those doors. Understanding that in order for you to allow the new things to come your way, you kind of got to get rid of the old. You got to clean out that closet, okay? So I know that for me, I tend to stick around to show people what a real friend is, to show them what loyalty is. And so let's say a friend hurt me in the past, and I'm like, okay, I forgive them and I keep them around. But it's like, I'm starting to understand. It's like, Martia, are you really keeping them around for the right reasons? Or are you keeping them around to show them like, yeah, see, this is how you're supposed to be a friend. This is how you're supposed to be. But it's like, you have to be honest with yourself, because that's not healthy if you got to constantly bring it back up. And so I caught myself and I'm like, okay, I'm really still hurting myself by keeping these people around. But I'm only keeping them around because I want to be seen as the giving heart. You know, I don't want to be the villain, the one that, you know, got them their lick back. I don't want to be seen as that. So it's like, okay, I welcome them in with open arms, but it's like, am I being true to myself? So I had to start going within and doing a lot of shadow work and being honest with myself. With what do I need? What do I deserve? And I found myself uncomfortable in a lot of these relationships, you know, because it's like the relationships from when I was 10 years old or early 20s or in my teens. And I kept them around because guess what? It's comfortable. We relate. They understand me. They went through seasons with me, but it's always important for you to remember that it's not always meant for you to remember those seasons. It doesn't negate what you went through with those people or, you know, how they have helped you. But it's like, we have to learn to stop reliving those old stories because they no longer serve us. So here I am trying to start over, start a new life. And it's like, how am I starting over? And I keep having those same people in me that's reminding me of the moment that they hurt me, the moment that I feel like they played me or my kids. And it's just like, letting people go with grace. So it's like understanding that I'm growing, because the old me used to just ghost people. But it's like the new me, I'm becoming more mature and letting them know like, hey, this friendship is no longer serving me. And you know, you got them people like, well, we gonna always be friends. You ain't going nowhere. But it's like, hey, I'm being serious with myself and I owe this to me. So I want to read an insert from my book, The Anthology of a Healing Heart. Yes, it's available on my website and Amazon. But here we go. I wanted to always be seen as a giving heart no matter how much someone hurt me. As a result, I held on to relationships and friendships so that I could say, they hurt me, but I tried my best. I remained loyal. Not realizing that I was only hurting myself by pushing my feelings to the side to appease others. I had to release the need to have this unspoken loyalty with a never-ending expiration date to people who showed me it was fuck me a long time ago. But what was the reason for me staying in a relationship knowing that the other person no longer fulfilled me? It was just so I wouldn't be viewed as a bad person. But was it a bad person? And who determines what a bad person is? Is it society? Bad karma? I mean, who the hell are people to judge our decisions when we all are just trying to figure this ish out? So it's like owning my truth became my new thing. There I was, afraid to tell parts of my story that shows people true colors because it possibly meant those same people may disown me or try to blame me for what they did to me. Crazy, right? I was afraid of making people look bad when I never gave them their script. I just let them play the character they chose to play in my story. I had to stop people pleasing and start self-pleasing to fulfill my purpose by telling my story to help others. After all, we all have parts of our stories that we never read aloud. So I don't know about y'all, but that just hit home to me because it's like we always want to, you know, be that giving heart. We always want people to see the best in us. So it's like, no, we're gonna be slow to anger all the time. But it's like, guess what? Our body has a way of telling us when somebody is being disrespectful, when somebody is playing with us. And that's okay. So it's okay to be spiritual, but we have to be in reality as well. We have to balance the light and dark. So be okay with people not being okay with you chucking the deuces. Be okay with people not understanding you. You know, I feel like I spent a lot of my time trying to be understood because I was so misunderstood. I wanted to be seen, and that's why I stayed in a lot of these relationships, because I wanted them to see that I was a good friend, to see that I was a great cousin, to see that I was a good spouse. It's like, hey, you see me? Like, you see me? It's just like I wanted to keep giving and giving and giving until it was like my cup no longer runneth over. My cup was empty, because here I am giving and giving and giving, that I was depleting myself, that I was pouring everything out until I had no more to give. And here I am now speaking my truth. It's just like I had a revelation to just keep going, to revamp my channel, to be open and honest about life and what's been going on with me. And it's like, I hope this message helps someone out there, because here we are a lot of the times trying to hide how we feel because we don't want to shake the table. We don't want to be direct with our emotions, with our feelings, because it may start an argument. It may shake the table. But here people are being passive aggressive to you, you know, being indirect with their comments, with their behavior, instead of saying, hey, you hurt me. Hey, you bothered me with this. And it's like, I'm so sick and tired of being in relationships and friendships with people who think that it's a problem when I speak about how they made me feel. And I am tired of being that person who always have to be the bigger person. It's like, I always say, we the same height. Matter of fact, you taller than me. It's nothing wrong with me coming at things from a peaceful manner, but I can't keep negating how I feel just to please others, because at the end of the day, I'm still being that people pleaser. And for me to be honest with myself, it's like, where did this stem from? I remember it stemmed from me having to deal with me feeling like my parents took some of their love away when I didn't do what they wanted me to do. For example, I got pregnant as a teenager, and my dad was incarcerated, and he wasn't okay with it. He was very upset about it. And so he stopped talking to me. He wrote me like this terrible letter. And I was just like, man, I was 16. And I was just like, all I wanted was my dad. I understood that I did something wrong or whatever, but I wanted my baby. And because I didn't want an abortion, it was like, he was like, okay, well, I ain't gonna talk to you anyway. So I was like, here I was, stressed, crying every day because I wanted to talk to my dad, and life was just life, and as we would say now. And I felt like because he took his love away, I tried to do everything to prove him that I was worthy of his love, that I was worthy of his attention. So long story short, I did end up losing my first child to a stillbirth. And so it was just like, I felt like he got what he wanted. And that sounds cruel, but that's how I felt at that moment. And I ended up getting pregnant again. And I had my son, who is now 13, almost 14 years old. And by the grace of God, I was able to get through that. But I felt like I learned those people-pleasing tendencies from me feeling like I needed to please my father. Or for example, when I didn't do something for my mom when I got earlier in my adult life, if I didn't want to take her to the store or something, it's just like they stopped talking to me. Well, she stopped talking to me. And it's like, okay, they took their love away, but it's like, is that unconditional love? And so I say that to say, here I am, providing unconditional love to all of my friends, my spouses, and my family, only because it's what I wanted to see in return. And in reality, that's why I ended up having kids, because it was just like, I want someone to love me unconditionally through each stage. It's like, hey, I'm disappointed in you, but hey, I'm still going to spend some time with you. I'm still going to feed you, but it's not like disowning me because you're upset with what I did. And so I even had to bring this to my spouse's attention the other day. And it's like, you only love me when I'm doing good, when I'm doing right by you. But it's like the moment that I get on your nerves, or you feel like I'm starting stuff, or I have an attitude, it's like, you want to take your love away. You want to take your attention. You like, no, Martia, I don't want to be around you right now because you tripping. But it's like, is that love? Is that unconditional love, or is it being love with conditions? So I say all of that to say you are not wrong for wanting unconditional love in your friendships and your relationships and in business or whatever. It's just like, you want what you want for a reason, and God didn't put that on your heart just for you to just negate it, you know. So it's important that we own up to how we feel and stay true to ourselves, because it's just like me doing all of this shadow work and noticing where this stem from, me feeling the need to show myself, improve myself. Like when I was in school, my dad used to say, C's weren't enough. No, you ain't doing good enough. But it's like, how is it? I'm trying. And so I remember just giving up. I remember starting to get F's and stuff. But it's like me learning from my parents to be a better parent to my children and knowing that this is a safe place. Hey, I'm here. I got you. You have a voice in this household. You have a voice with me. You have a place with me. And now I'm going to love you unconditionally. Even if I don't agree with your decisions, my love is here and I'm not going to take it away. So I say all of that to say, I'm at the point where I am taking myself and my love away from the people who no longer deserve me, where their attention no longer serves me in this time of my life right now. I feel like God is asking a lot of people to close some doors and to trust him. Remember a time where you didn't know how some things were going to work, how you didn't know how you were going to pay a bill, but something happened at the blink of an eye, and it was when you least expected it, but you had faith. So even if your faith is as small as a mustard seed, I want you to continue to believe in you and know that you are on the right path, and know you are not wrong for cutting those people out, for doing the things that you want to do for you to elevate you. Sometimes elevation means separation, and sometimes those relationships that we thought meant us well no longer mean us well for this new person that we have to become. So it's like shedding the skin, understanding that you can't take some of those characteristics that you had with you to this new level, to this next chapter. You kind of got to leave it there. And that may mean you leaving some people that meant the best to you or for you at some point in your life. But baby, those same people can't go, because it's okay for you to be a villain in somebody's story if that means you saving yourself. Okay? So I know I went on a rant, but I just been talking and saying what I feel like I'm guided to say, because I want you to know that you're not alone. And I too have felt neglected, abandoned, and that's how we're going to work through our issues. So I'm going to be doing a lot of shadow work with you all and just speaking of things so we can help heal ourselves even more for this next chapter, for this me season, okay? So y'all could go ahead, y'all could look at my book, The Anthology of a Healing Heart, available on my website. And I actually do have one-on-one coaching as well, virtual. So you can go ahead and check that out. We also do offer writing services here. My company is called MR Creations. But whether you can afford it or you can just watch this for free, I just appreciate you. So thank you, and make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel if this is a channel for you. If not, send it to someone else, and y'all have a wonderful day. All right.